Good morning. Good morning. It's Norma Cowie. It's Wednesday morning. It's 9 o'clock, and I'm here for Norma Talks. Today, I'm going to talk about a familiar theme. And before I do that, I'm going to apologize. I still have a little cold. I still cough a bit, and my nose wants to run. So, got my additions here to help me with that. Thoughts, thinking. When you're in metaphysics, you can't be in metaphysics more than about 5 minutes, and they start talking about your thoughts. Up until I began my tarot studies, and then as that led on into more deeper metaphysics, I wasn't aware too much of thoughts, words, the part they played in your life. The thoughts that you have, and you usually are thinking pretty consistently, even if you're not aware of it. There's thoughts that we have in the back that don't even see the day of light, or the light of day, I should say. And then there's thoughts in the front, which we're very aware of. And those are the ones mostly that we're working with. When I first heard that thoughts create your vibration, I literally thought that was incorrect to me. Because up until then, I had heard words, the words you speak, watch what you say, how you say it, what you do with. And then I began to put things together as I listened closer and clearer to those things around. Thought comes before words usually. Even if we don't know when the words spill out of our mouth, it's still a part of us that we've thought about. But let's go back to thinking. We all know, at least I think we all know, that we have a subconscious mind. The subconscious mind remembers everything. It's large, it's big, it has many, you might say, phrases to it, or houses, or whatever. It's a land unto itself. And I have learned a lot more about the subconscious mind in the last year and a half because I needed to help my clients. And it's almost like everything is located into a little pocket there, and it's all individualized and all stored. And so often decisions that we have made, because I'm a past life person, remember, is that those decisions in past lives and past places are tucked away. And they also are like the bubbles that can surface in water. They surface. And if we have a situation and then we make that, what we might just think as a passing thought, but it could be part of a decision that we've made earlier, it is going to hook. It is going to take effect, and it's going to be there and stuck there. Now, you can't monitor your thinking every second of the day, or you go literally crazy. But what you can do is spend a few minutes a day sitting back and watch as you think about the day or think about what you're going to do, and watch the thoughts cross the mind. The thoughts in the subconscious, I used to draw this a little, the subconscious, let's say, is down here. And the thoughts trickle up and then run across into the conscious mind and back down again. If you give a thought power, which means you give it attention, then it circles quicker. And this is what happens pretty well to anything. If you give it power, if you give it attention, if you give it awareness, it will occur more often. And that's why people, teachers, metaphysical teachers, when you're learning about thinking, will say, watch your thoughts. And then from this, most people, often there's some old things about changing, how to change thoughts. But I found as I worked with it, like studiously for some time, I found the freeze, evaporate, replace the easiest, because then you're placing an energy. You're still using your own energy, but you're replacing it. You're making it different. You're making it come into an awareness of being. Your thoughts basically are asking what you want to have happen back into your life. Sometimes you get, I know I do, so I should say I get complacent. I get complacent. It's like, oh, well, I've had a good life. I've been here, I've been there, I've done this and I've done that, and I can sit back. And so, but that's really not, often going to get us anywhere of what we really are wanting. Like, what are your goals? I always suggest in January, write your goals out. What do you want to have happen this year? I've had some things happen I have not on my goal list, but they're things you still have to deal with and work with. And that's part of I was going to say, the price we pay of being a human through this wondrous world of humanity. But you can work on or change or alter how you show up, how you appear, what you do when something occurs that you don't want to have happen. And it all begins truly by just spending a little bit of time every day watching this thought scan across your head, like your mind, sorry, right in your forehead, and just being aware of the patterns. What is your pattern? Sometimes, I forget to do that. And I'm like everybody else. I get just, oh, whatever. I've got my book I really like. I've got my TV programs I really like. I'm going here. I'm going there. I'm working on my energy. Today I have to visit. Yesterday I had to visit the eye doctor. Today I'm going back to talk to the dentist. Then I've got to see my regular doctor. Those are the things that very often occupy your mind, but it doesn't set up your pattern or what you're wanting. Now, one of the good, for me anyway, I'm going to say a good time to actually start putting your thinking into practice is at nighttime before you go to bed, or when you first wake up. Usually I find I'm too busy figuring out my day. When I wake up, I'm not thinking about that. When I go to bed, I am. I have certain things I'd like to occur. And so I put that out there. And that's, you might say that, might call them my evening prayers, or you could say my evening affirmations, whichever way you wanted to look at it, because every thought really is a prayer. And a lot of people don't get that. They think that just when you have to pray a certain way, but actually your thoughts are your prayer for your vibration, for how you want your vibration. I used to get up every morning, and I'm just remembering to say, may I have a good day. Thank you for the day. Thank you for the good things happening to me and the good things I put out. Where did that go? I don't remember saying that for a long time, but I'm just being reminded. That was a saying that you could have. Welcome the day. Thank you for the good day. Thank you for the great things coming in and out. Strength to handle whatever does show up, because there are surprises sometimes. How do you handle them? But it's having that connection. Now I find, and as I said, now I just get out of bed. Oh, I got to get up now. So it's a good reminder for me. Thank you, because now I get to remember to do that. I do mine mostly at the evening when I'm in bed before I go to sleep, giving thanks for the day and setting up what I would like to have the next day be. Most people I find are not aware of what they think. They're aware more of how they feel. Remember that thought and feelings go together. They hopefully work together. Don't always work together. Some of us are more feelers than thinkers. I was more what I called a mental person. My brain was more, but I was very emotional, and that's where the fun starts. When you have a thought, if you have any emotion at all, any feeling at all, feelings are sort of transitory. Emotions are usually, you feel them, they're bigger, about a subject, about a person, about a thing that you want to do. That emotion is going to feed the thought. The thought is going to have charge. It's going to take effect. You're going to have it more often. It's going to be out there. And this is sometimes when we're not really clear on what it is we really want. And we'll often do a big headline rather than smaller bits of it. I want a relationship. I want it to look this way. I want it that way. is maybe to break it down a little bit, break down the relationship to be a bit more specific to what you want, especially in the beginning. So there's many elements about how thought works. Mostly we don't even think about it. We don't think we're thinking. We don't think that they're going out. We can get caught up in events. We can get caught up with what's happening, but we're not thinking that we're thinking. We do not live in a bubble. So life outside impedes, it comes in, and we have to deal no matter what. How do we deal with that? Do we deal that with anger? Do we deal that with, I don't want to deal with that, throw it away, kind of thing? That's not for me. I'm not going to get involved in this. That's somebody else's problem, not mine. All of those thoughts also the idea is to say, and really accept, yeah, that, oh, I'm going to stop right now because this thing is going to go on and I'll be back.